to the Noise Filter podcast. This week we have the lovely Sarah Marie Tyrell from Honey. Hope you enjoy it.
Welcome, Sarah. This is the Noise Filter podcast. How are you doing? You alright?
I'm doing good.
Thank you. Thank you for coming along.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
How would you describe your bands to people that don't know you or Honey or your solo project?
Honey, I tried to steer away from like two phrases I always steer away from, but they probably sum us up quite well. I never say female fronted because I think that gives someone an idea in their mind of like, they think about that instead of the music maybe. So I never say that, but we are.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
And I never say grunge, but then we probably are very grunge.
Yeah.
So that kind of sums us up. But I always say just like alt rock, alternative rock. That's what I say.
Okay. What would, if you like could pick some albums or bands that sort of began your band's musical journey? What would those be? Or it doesn't have to be like what. It doesn't have to be cool stuff. For me, it was like loads of stupid things. Like Radiohead were like a massive band for starting my musical journey, and like things like Rage Against the Machine, and like just like loads, and like Queens of the Stone Age, and like all variety of things. But they don't necessarily sum up what I do. But is there anything that like kind of got you going?
Well, definitely Nirvana and Queens of the Stone Age and Hole, like.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can hear that.
Yeah.
But you know, Nirvana like got me to play guitar. It's like, what? I can play, power chords are so easy, and I know this one chord shape, and now I know a whole song.
Yeah.
This is wicked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Queens of the Stone Age even more. I wanted to be a really good lead guitarist at one point. That just went out the window. That was the plan at one point. And then Hole, like Courtney Love is the first woman I'd ever heard sing that way. There are obviously lots of others, and throughout history as well, really cool, raspy women. But that was the first one I heard. I was like, I could put these elements together.
Yeah, make something magical.
Yeah,
that's nice. There's a lot of like for me, grunge was like a big catalyst to my early bands and early writing, and Nirvana and stuff like that were a massive influence on me. And like being able to play some of their songs quite early on as a guitarist was amazing.
It's like yes.
Yeah.
I must be good if I can play a whole song.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like I was learning the bass, and Chris Novoselic's bass lines were like just really juicy and nice to play, and really enjoyed that.
Oh, the cutest Chris Novoselic thing is like, when they inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like last year or something. Yeah. And like close to the time or after it, he was just quoted as saying, I had to go and buy a Nirvana tab book because I couldn't remember this song. It was so cute.
Bless him.
Legend.
He's a legend, yeah. They they just they're so good. And like the Pixies as well for me were like just started that a little bit more so Frank Black's solo stuff. I don't know if you've listened to any of his.
I've not, and everyone's telling me.
I think I can even remember saying to you at some point, check out Frank Black, because he's like just a true hero. He really does some awesome music. So a few things I've been sort of talking about over the last few podcasts.
Yeah.
One of the things being like being from a sort of small place. Does that help or hinder your music situation? Do you think, or has it? Or I suppose it's hard because you don't have the alternative.
I don't know what it would be.
Don't know what it's like. No.
There's probably pros and cons to it. Probably like, it's cool. It's a very close knit scene, and you quickly get to know almost everyone, which is really nice. Cons are like, we've probably as a band have peaked. We've done what we could do in Cornwall. Maybe we've played all the nice festivals, and that's really fun, but I don't know where's left to go really, so there's probably not a glass ceiling in terms of sex, a glass ceiling in terms of location. A better analogy than that, but I don't know, there's like a little cap maybe. So, but then not to echo what Jordan was saying, but I watched their thing the other day, and they were kind of talking about living in London and everything, and it's like, I don't think, well, from what I hear, A&R people aren't in clubs looking for people anymore anyway. No. So, there's no point in going up there and living there and playing. Like, there's no point. And if you're doing something cool, they'll come to you. It's fine, But Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't really like. If I was going to move, maybe something like Bristol is really cool.
Bristol is a really vibrant scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always kind of, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you're right. It's, to some degree, you can sort of peak in Cornwall, and there are bands that like, you know, I can think of a few bands that were really really big, like Root Juice and when I was younger, like Quincy and stuff like that. That for me were like massively influential Cornish bands that were on the peak of kind of doing something and didn't quite manage to transition into that next.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. And so it's, I don't know whether or not being in a small place and like having that like, you've got an opportunity to make a big noise in Cornwall and people can kind of get into you because maybe bigger bands don't come down. For Company B it's quite good. We can sort of effectively go and do a lot of Cornwall. I like that, but I don't know. I'm always interested to sort of find out what
how
they think.
Feel about it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like negative about it.
No.
We have a lot of fun, and like we go out of county anyway a lot, which is cool. I don't know if there's a black and white answer to that.
No,
really.
I'm sure there isn't. No, I'm sure there isn't.
Yeah.
So, how's your recording a new album? How's that going?
Really well, really slowly.
Yeah.
We're back with John again.
Yeah.
Johnny C, who, as you know, did Muse and Oasis and all those. He's alright.
He's alright, isn't he?
He's alright.
He's good, man. He's a good lad.
So yeah, we're doing that. We did. It's just slow. It's a slow process. We did 2 tracks in like January.
Yeah.
I was like 5 months pregnant, just like trying to sing. And I was poorly and all the rest of it. But we did 2, and they're really cool. Then we did a video each for them, and then we were like, no money left. So now we're in the process of like, well, let's gig again and save a bit more, and then we'll probably just keep doing like a couple of tracks at a time.
Yeah.
Because I've kind of always hated everything I've ever recorded, but these 2, I'm like, I love them.
Yeah.
I really like listening to them. That's never happened before, so I think that's because you can like give the songs a lot of attention. It's like an intense. We did like a 12-hour day and then a 13-hour day. It was,
that's long.
Fucking long. And John was just, oh my god, he's a real trooper. Like, I don't know how you can concentrate because we can do our takes and then be like,
stop for a bit.
Yeah, but
rest.
he's on it all day, all night. And we had Sam come in, my partner Sam.
Yeah.
And he did some guitar, and a chap called Simon Walker as well. He's in some like fresh kind of hardcore bands called Monolithian and Rash Decision, and he did some as well.
Yeah.
So like I can't afford to be a 4-piece, but in the studio you kind of can.
Yes, you can you can draw on that. You can get other people in to come and help out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's really cool.
That's definitely going to be happening. Probably on like every tune we'll have some peppering of goodness coming in.
Yeah. Is that the first time you've gone outside of what the band can do live for recordings? Or?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. I mean, there were a couple of overdubs on the first album, which is called Weekend Millionaire, but it was very meat and potatoes. We did 10 songs in like 4 days.
Yeah, grind it out.
Mental. And it sounds like it. It's good. It's great. It's a fun album, but it does sound like we played 10 songs in 4 days. Right.
I really like that album. I think it sounds really good. But
I
understand, like, when you listen to it for yourself, you can hear it, can't you? You can pick apart those things.
Probably the same for you. Like, you'll listen to one of your takes and then it's on the album and you're like, oh shit, I hate that bit.
I could have done that better.
Yeah, I've got all of that. But
yeah, for sure. Another thing that I like to find out about, is there any local unsigned bands that you love, that you want to shine a light on? Do you want to pick a few?
One local to you. Have you seen Buffalo Frame?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, in fact, I would love to get those gents in. I like those guys.
Yes.
I used to be in. Well, my old drummer was a guy called Steve MacArthur, who's James MacArthur, their drummer's brother.
Yeah.
So I like the Frame.
He auditioned. Well, not that we held very formal auditions, but he just had.
I told him to come and.
That was you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh, he was just too far away and busy and all the rest of it, but he was ace. It was really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna shine a little light on them. I love them. I love them a lot. I wish. I don't know. if I have sons, I hope it's all 3 of them. One day I'd like sons like that. They're wicked. I love them. Very bluesy, very Zeppelin-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to, I mean, basically they kind of cut their teeth at the Barley Sheaf and Nisgard, and that was like pretty much where they did most of their early stuff, and they're really good. They're really good.
I love them.
James is just awesome drummer. He's
oh
too
my
good.
god.
He's an
animal.
He is a good
He's
drummer.
Like a crazy Keith Moon animal.
He is a beast.
They played with us in like the Royal, which is just a pub local to us, and they used our drummer's kit, and after the state he was in, it was just like, oh my god, all my drum heads are fucked. It was worth it. It was brilliant.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that you have been loving locally?
Yeah, heaps, heaps and heaps. I'm just gonna reel some off.
Yeah, feel free, go for it.
Cool. The Lovely Eyelids. Have you seen them?
No.
They're lovely, like 4-piece, like rockabilly, all girl. They don't give a damn about what's cool or what's going on. They just, I think they've been going for like 10 years.
They've got a double bass player, haven't they?
Yeah, they're twin sisters. There's a drummer, Michelle, and a bass player, Louise. And they're in my, like, bluesy.
Oh, is that who that is?
That's who that is.
Awesome,
I call them the Voodoo Rhythm section.
Nice.
And they're wicked. My friend Sharon's a guitarist, Kelly's a singer. They're awesome. Who else do I love? Some of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like Sam, my partner's in various things. He's always transformed. Did you ever see Hold the Sun? That was
no.
him, and that was kind of a while ago now. Him and Dave Kellaway and Matt Davey.
Yeah.
And they've obviously gone on to do King Creature and Godstone.
They're just having unbelievable run.
They're doing all right.
Yeah. I think in answer to that question about like what happens in Cornwall, well, it's sort of evidence that you can sort of you can sort of do it. You can't step up amongst up above it all, can't you?
You can. Yeah.
They're doing very well. Didn't they support like Motorhead or something?
Yeah, at the Eden Sessions last year or the year before.
I think they didn't they like open Leo as well maybe or
they were on the main stage, weren't they, on the Friday this year? But yeah, they've done cool. They're off to China in October. As you do.
Amazing.
Yeah, and like the teenage dream is to like get your video on a music channel, and they got their video on Scuzz TV this week, so that's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah,
they're doing great.
I think there's part of what you were saying earlier about like people kind of know everybody in Cornwall, and it's true, isn't it? Like we're at one degree of separation. You know, I know a few people that I know because of other people, and it's just like this. Like, you know, I know you guys from having met Matt, and it's just so many interconnecting musical stories, isn't there? Yeah,
and it's so warm. Like, I wouldn't say I've hung out with you a lot, but I feel like I know you really well.
Yeah.
I love you, and it's like
that's really nice. Yeah, well, I part of the reason I wanted to do this was because I sort of feel the same way. It's like it's nice to kind of have basically effectively just a music chat about stuff that pretty much interests us, really.
Yeah.
I don't really care if it's of any value to anybody else. Cornwall is good for that, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Someone once said something like, "Don't talent doesn't fear talent," and that's a really sort of poignant sort of.
That's a great saying.
Yeah, and I think you sort of see that a lot with bands that. You see a lot of bands that like kind of go, "Oh, this band is shit," and you just think, "Well, why do you feel like that?"
Maybe because you're threatened by that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you, exactly.
Yeah.
I've always been very lucky to have a lot of music friends and just
who want to see each other do well.
Yes.
Which is like that's cool. That's what it should be about.
Well, I feel like Cornwall does it pretty well. Is that like we all try and drag each other up, and if one person's doing well, it can kind of like it creates the good music scene.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's really nice. Like places like Leo, kind of have that. You get a lot of. I saw William the Conqueror, you guys, Joanna Kirk, just like loads of these local bands that I really like that I think are like what makes Cornwall brilliant, and that just makes me really happy to see that like sort of talent, and it's just local, you know. It's really good.
Aww.
That's what Leo does really well.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, for sure. Are you guys? What's your next year looking like? Are you busy up for any festivals yet?
We haven't. I want to do some festivals. I want to do. I'm just gonna say it. I don't care. I want to do Lou. I've never done Lou. That's like on my little list. We've done a lot of them in Cornwall because BB's introducing are really cool, and they'll generally have a local stage
Yeah.
and you get to play it. But I've never done Lou, so that's on my list.
Lou's
next year.
good.
Lou,
Make it happen.
come on.
Come on.
I love Little Orchard. I did that last year. That was wicked.
That's one that I want to do.
Mate, it's so good.
we need to tap these up for each other.
Yeah. Can't believe they're really good. Come on. Yeah. What else? We've not got anything booked. This is just me like, yeah, we're gonna play Lou.
Yeah, but I mean that's we did a festival called Watch It Festival, and after we finished the first year, we played on the small stage. At the end of it, I said, next year we'll be back on the main stage, and lo and behold, it happened. So I think if you put it out there, sometimes
Put the vibes out.
you can sometimes make the dream come true if you believe in it enough.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's good. I do like Lou. Lou Fest is good. You guys would go down a storm in Lou. Yeah, there's a lot of good stages there for you guys for sure.
Cool.
So I asked this of Jordan, and I probably asked this of Joe and Al. Do you think since how long have you guys been together for? You've been for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, various incarnations.
Yeah.
Probably 2011, I think.
Yeah.
That was me and a drummer, a bass player, and then there was a couple of lineup changes. And then we had a drummer called Sammy, and Ellie came along, and that was the second album. And then Sammy left because it wasn't his vibe.
Yeah.
And now we finally settled. So yeah, it's been 6 years or something, which have flown by. Now I've said that out loud. 6 years.
It's frightening, isn't it? How quickly it goes.
What? Yeah, and it's been a bit of an evolution, but that's the point.
Yes, absolutely. You need to follow your bliss, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I was wondering is, over that period of time, there's been a massive transition, especially from sort of like CD buying to digital, and like with Jordan saying, it's like massively helpful to be able to self-publish. Has that been the case for you? Do you think that has that helped you, or has it hindered you? Do you think?
Incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Incredibly, especially the early days, we did some of our videos I shot on an iPhone 4.
Yeah.
And put it together on my brother's laptop. He's got, I don't know, some kind of program.
Yeah.
And
that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that aspect's cool. And our first little demo thing Matt Arundel did.
Yeah.
That's one of them. No, he didn't actually. He did some stuff after. But there's some of the most, there's some of the recordings I'm most happy with, because they're of an era when it's still fun and new and exciting. But you can put that on SoundCloud and all your friends. That's how you get known initially. I don't think you should do that forever.
No.
But that's a good way to start a band. Is do your own little video. Get your your friend. Someone has a laptop with bloody Cubase or Logic on it. Get them to do that, and then you've got a demo, and then you can be like, "Hi, this is us. Can we come and play with you?"
Yeah.
And it snowballs. That's not something, I think you should always strive to evolve from that, but that's how we started. That's probably how almost every band starts now. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think it's interesting, isn't it? It's a massive evolution of how music, and I suppose distribution and all of that sort of stuff has changed so much. I think we are still quite lucky in the sense that we have sold CDs, and physical media at a gig is actually quite good, because it's nice to kind of have I don't know whether or not we're going to go back round again, because I've started buying records, and I went massively through the phase of wanting to have CDs, and then I stopped wanting to have CDs because of a pain in the arse, and then I was actually I like the kind of ritual of picking a record out and putting it on and sitting down and listening to it, and having a purposeful sit down and sort of enjoy some music, and it's a nice tangible thing. I think it's probably quite pretentious to get into this record buying, but I love it. I really enjoy having something nice about seeing this big thing, and that it's quite exciting for me. But I wonder if we will eventually get back round again, so that but I think it is all of that stuff is helpful. It's good to have physical media. It's good to have,
and people do still buy it. I don't think people pay certainly at the gigs I do, £10 is too much for a CD.
It is probably, yeah.
I can buy 2 and a bit beers with that.
Yeah.
Alright, mate. But a £5 or so for a CD is cool. And people tend to pay more, they'll buy a t-shirt, they'll pay £10 or £15 for a shirt, which is cool.
Yeah.
And we usually have some shirts now. I think we do okay. I don't know, maybe we don't have the youngest audience, but people still buy CDs.
Yeah.
our gigs, which is cool.
Yeah.
I still buy CDs. I love CDs. And like you're saying about the ritual, there's something super cool about checking out the artwork.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, we're in a really sort of like evolving time of music, and
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see where it goes.
I don't know. I think vinyl will continue to go up because that's a real. But I think the digital side's going to go mental. I envision in like 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 years, we'll just like all be microchipped in our brains.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, I'm going to download the new Company B album. There it is. Like that's where we're headed.
Yeah, yeah. It's a frightening thought, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, do you think there's anything wrong with the music business as it is? Is there anything that's like that you notice is not making it good?
Oh, I mean, I don't pretend to know a lot about what's going on, but it's probably terrible, really, isn't it? Like, record labels don't want to invest any money, and I imagine back in the day, like, there would be A&Rs scouting in venues, and like they'd see a band, you've got potential, we've got some money to like, you know, develop you. And I think now probably what they do is like go on, okay, you've got like 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. You've done the work for us. We can move
Scoop
this
you
forward.
up.
Yeah. So, but then that's a whole fake world because people, I guess, can buy likes, and it's weird. It's weird. They don't want to develop you. They want you to do all the groundwork, and people are touring. And it's so hard to tour. It's, you know, you break even if you're lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's really hard in that respect. I don't know where it's going really.
No.
I can't see it going anywhere good if venues are closing and.
Yeah.
Don't know. It's all a bit doom and gloom.
Boo. I think it's been sad to see some. I mean, yeah, live music is going to be the way forward. I think probably we're going to have a situation where people will just expect to stream your album for free.
Yeah.
And then we'll come and pay to see you live.
And then hopefully buy a T-shirt.
Yeah, and then hopefully you can sort of transition that into merchandising and stuff like that. But the bigger you become, the harder it becomes. Because like we sort of spoke to some people who were like a bit higher up when we played on a festival, and they were saying all that happens is the bigger you get, the more people you bring with you. the more you have to. More of a production it becomes, the more people you have to pay. It's like it's difficult, isn't it? It's so yeah, I don't know really. It seems like that is, but in the same respect, like how do you go and play these live gigs if all these venues shut and there's no medium sized venues for you to play in?
Yeah.
There's like you can go up to Bristol. There's some big venues there. You've got the Hall for Cornwall. You've got Eden if you're like really big.
Yeah.
And then it's like pubs, and there's no middle ground, is there?
Yeah, like those kind of clubs and things, they're going or gone. I'm just burping, sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's another reason that bands that maybe get to a certain level and then kind of like, well, where do we?
Yeah.
There's no there aren't these next venues to cut our teeth on and go forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't feel like it's very good. I don't know what's going to happen.
No.
And I don't think people have. I don't want to be a bummer, but I think people. It's so easy to stay in now because you can just like I can watch Netflix and I can just sit here in a duvet and I don't need to go out. Whereas I imagine in the days of like 4 or 5 channels, it'd be like I'm fucking bored.
I've got to get out.
Yeah.
I've seen enough Neighbours today.
Yeah. People have less disposable income and. I don't know. This government doesn't support the arts. I don't think they give a damn if no one ever. They don't care.
No.
So there's nothing to support these venues that are failing, and they're talking about taking music out of some schools and things. It's like it's all against, and as well, I feel like I know a lot of the good music in history is born from people from really poor backgrounds, like John Lennon or Black Sabbath or Kurt Cobain, but. Now, I think to get far, it helps if you have money. Like, you can pay to go on the radio, you can pay to go on tours with bigger bands. You can give me $5,000 and you can support this band on my UK tour. And, Kurt Cobain couldn't have done that, and neither could Ozzy Osbourne. And that's kind of making music quite there's going to be, kind of a class war. Like, only the rich can
Get in and do it.
Get in and do it, and that's wrong because I think poor people make good music too.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think the idea of getting rid of music lessons is frightening. When we start culling the arts, it's like a real sign of the things that are important to our government, and it's like a real shame to think that like things like arts and music and the NHS are expendable things that we don't need those things. Those are those are all things that we
health and like expression. Nah.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Mate,
just
just learn to press the buttons and comply.
Fix the robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's gone all gloomy. Let's talk about something nice.
Okay, that's very true. Okay. So, part of the reason I wanted to do this podcast is I wanted to find out about creativity and about inspiration and about how those things come about. How does that work for you? How does your creative process work? If you were going to write a song, how does that happen for you?
Personally, it's a very like deeply personal thing for me. I'm not one of those people who are like, let's jam it out.
Yeah.
You know, it's all me on my own. Like no one in the house. Won't be trying necessarily too hard, and then a little something magic will come along. Like, oh, I really like these chords, or I like that melody, and it'll be like a line, or I'll be like out and I need to sing into my phone, which I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And then I get that little nugget, and then maybe that's a little chorus or something, and I'll write lyrics, and that's like a little shell, and then depending on if it's a mare or not, the whole song will follow in the next month or maybe year.
Yeah.
It's like really long. I'm not very good at jamming. I think I'd have to have like a really good relationship with that musician to jam, like maybe a guitarist that could play what I want to play but don't know how to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more like very personal, and in a weird way I'm like, it's a bit of pride in that, like I did that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's on me. I don't really write a lot. I'm not very prolific, but I try not to like compare myself to like some people, like Sam, my partner Sam. Just burped out an entire really good album. Like, all right. But I'm really slow. I probably write a handful of songs every year, like 4 or 5. But I write them and I make sure I like playing them, and nothing that I don't like, and because I know I'm gonna have to play it for the years. I'm like, no.
yeah, that's good to have that. I struggle with writing now, and I used to craft songs very slowly.
Yeah. And
like, there was no. I was talking to Joe Francis, the guy from Winter Mountain. He was and also Albert Jones from Albert Jones, and he was saying that they come quickly. They come like in 10 minutes. He's got like
Who are these people?
I know, it makes me furious. And like for me, it's like a very slow process, and it's kind of like a puzzle. And I put the puzzle together, and it often sounds like that. It sounds like someone's tried to piece a puzzle together, which is it's not musically very pleasurable for someone. Listen to this puzzle I've shit out.
You sound like that. Sounds like a similar process.
But I wonder. Yeah, I just wonder what it is that. Yeah, I don't
Everyone's
know.
different. Everyone's different. Like, yeah. I know a lot of like 10-minute boom writers, but I'm more like you. It takes me ages, and then I'm like, does this bit fit on there? Oh no, shit! I better write something else. But you know, I'm very patient, and I get there in the end, and I don't let it out until I'm ready, and I don't let it out until I like it.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you ever get writer's block?
Yeah, I think everyone does. I think if you try and write and you can't, it gets very frustrating, and then the more you try, the more you can't, so it's just like, I'll leave it. I think my cure, personally, for writer's block is like, I'm going to get into a brand new band, and I'm going to get really into them, and maybe plagiarise some shit.
Yeah, for sure. That's not bad. That's not a bad solution. I suffer from almost constant writer's block.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think one thing for me was you have to do it a lot, and you have to sometimes just get through. You have to write through the bad stuff.
People say that, and I should. Like, people say that you should finish, you should write more.
Yeah.
I've never done that because it feels like, I don't want to have bad songs, but it probably is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Maybe we should both
go and just pummel out some tunes.
Some shitty tunes, and then a good one will come.
Yeah.
I think that's advice I hear a lot that I've never followed, but there's probably got to be something in it.
Yeah. Do you ever get the fear of, like, I massively suffer from this fear, that I can't write as well as I used to, or I get... do you know what I mean? Do you ever get, like, that fear of, like, oh man, I wrote some really great tunes once.
Yeah.
Like, how do I do anything other than,
Yeah.
everything for me is compared to something once that I wrote well. That's really hard.
Yeah, and then you look at something that you wrote, and you're like, I wouldn't even know where to begin to like know how to write like that. How did I do that?
Where did that come from?
Where
It's
the
like someone
hell?
else did it for me.
Yeah,
Some
I feel
magical,
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you were hoping that I'd give you some wisdom in this,
Well-
and I'm just like, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd help me.
Yeah, but then I'm glad to hear someone else suffer this punishment, because it's you know, it's like it's because you are going to make an album, and that for me it would frighten the crap out of me having to know that, like, I would like to say to myself, I'm going to write an album, and then go, I've got a year, I'm going to do it, and I would quite often say that to myself, but then I'd never do it, and so you know, the fear for me would be like actually having to do that.
Yeah.
And you are going to live that, and that's the thing that was the thing that frightens me. It's like,
Yeah,
like
but
that
then
commitment
maybe
to it.
the fear is like you just gave yourself a deadline then, like
Yeah.
a year, and that's enough time to write a really good album. Maybe it's not. Maybe
Yeah.
it'll take you 5 years to write an awesome album. Like,
Oh no!
hopefully not, but like maybe
when
that's
I'm dead, maybe just before I'm dead, I've crafted a fine piece of work.
Dying. Oh,
Yeah,
but that's
the
a good
last
song.
tune. This is the one. Release it, Spotify. Maybe you'll hear it when I'm on my deathbed. Sarah, I've done it.
Dan, it's banging. Well done,
It's
mate.
good. No. Yeah, yeah. It does. Yeah, it's some that I suppose for me, the problem I have is that I do company B a lot, and
Yeah.
I don't have time to play in any other bands of anyone else.
Yeah.
And I used to have a friend that I would write music with.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I've been quite lucky really. I had a couple of really good music buddies to write with over the years, and that is often the thing that means it's that kind of like back and forth, not writing together, but just having somebody that's about that
Yeah.
you can just sort of say, "What do you think of this?" And
Yeah,
you go,
yeah.
"Yeah, I like that," or not. I basically need someone to sort of go, "You're a good boy. Well done. You're
Well
writing.
done, Daniel."
Yeah, that's a good song." Yeah, that's why I can't write. I've got no one patting me on the back all the time.
Damn it.
I need to bring it my friend Christian and say, "Christian, do you like this song? Yeah, it's good. Nice one. Cool." Yeah.
Give him a list of pre-approved answers.
Yeah.
Yes, well done.
This
Good
is
boy.
good. Good boy.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I mean, back to what I said about listening to a new band and plagiarising them. I kind of am half serious that if you're listening to a brand new band, then you're listening to a whole new way of writing that you're not familiar with, and you will pinch something weird from it.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to learn At Last by Etta James, and I
Nice.
was like, they're really hard chords, and I finally did it. But the song's about 3 minutes long, and it took me about 10 minutes to play it by the time I got my fingers in the right positions.
Yeah.
But from that, I took some of the chords I could do, and I made a different song. I made
Yeah.
my own song, and then, you know, I don't sound like Etta James, and neither does the song. But that if I hadn't been trying to learn that, I would never have written what I think is quite a fun song that
Yeah.
I do now. So
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think when I was writing, I was learning. I think some of my favourite songs are songs I've stolen some of the chords from Radiohead, or some of the chords from someone else, or whatever else. Yeah, I think that's really good advice.
Yeah,
Is there any advice you would like to give to sort of young aspiring people about how to get a band going, or how to get them to a point of like sort of, I mean, you sort of said it a little bit earlier about like, you know, just I can't remember what
those
was it?
early stages.
Yes,
just
those
getting-
early stages. So like, how does that? Is there anything is there any sort of wise advice that you would like to pass on to the?
Sure. I mean, the way that worked for me was, I was like, anyone. I will play with anyone. I want any drummer and any bass player.
Yeah.
And like, I knew that wouldn't last forever, because I knew, the bass player doesn't even like this genre, and the drummer, but you just get that started, and then, then you've got a band.
Yeah.
And just, before you do that, have like a couple of songs, and then you're already doing it. You're already playing your own music, but then I think as well, be prepared to be a bit ruthless and like, you know, if it's not a good fit and someone else comes along that is a good fit, and if you want to do this, then you better get the good person in, really.
Yeah.
Try and do it as amicably as you can.
I was on the end of that. I was rejected from a band on that end. On that end.
Yeah, I've done that, and
it's got to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to do it.
I could have done it better. I think I was a bit of a dick about it, but I would never do it in that way again. And just be true to yourself. Like, just play what you want to play.
Yeah.
Play exactly what you want to play, because
Yeah.
then it will be good. I think. If you're trying to play what other people would like, or what you think other people would like, or what you think will get you on a festival, then just don't even bother. Just play what you love.
Yeah.
Even if it's bizarre or whatever, just do what you love. And just be true to yourself, and be prepared to, like, you know, and yeah, where I went from there is like messaging people like, can I play? I'll play for free.
Yeah.
Can I just support you? I've got a half-hour set. You shouldn't do that forever, and you shouldn't play for free forever, but you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So just play with as many people as you can, and they're going to be bad gigs, and you're going to get nervous, but just do it.
Yeah.
And then you're playing your own gig, and then it just gets better and better. But I think anyone can do it, and as long as you're like being true to yourself and like living it and loving it, it's fine. And yeah, I love seeing people who are just really into it. I don't really like seeing posers. I love someone who's just living the moment, even if they're being a bit mental or I don't particularly like what you're doing, but I love how you're doing it.
I love that you love doing it.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of truth to that, because if you become successful at something you don't like, that is the worst punishment, isn't it? I mean, if you make something and then they go, that's brilliant, do that now forever. That's your.
Oh shit! But I hate this.
I hate this. This is rubbish. Yeah, and also I suppose be true to yourself is massively important, because when you do, you can't replicate something else all the time. You can be yourself. You can draw on that well of your own experience and stuff. That's, you know, it's quite important, isn't it, to like have that sort of belief.
The ultimate goal should be to make your own little sounds. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's a very cramped sonic universe. It's hard to be original.
Yeah.
But, you know, that should be the ultimate dream. I'm nowhere near that now, but I think of the people I love, and I think, why do I love them? It's because they've done that. Like Josh Homme or Stevie Nicks or Tom Waits, like they've found their own little corner in the sonic universe, and like, you know, no one plays guitar like Josh Homme, and if they do, they're like, you're playing guitar like Josh Homme.
Yeah.
And, you know, Stevie Nicks has kind of been singing a very similar melody over the very similar chords for decades, but they're her freaking chords.
Yeah.
She can do
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, my dream would be to like get a very, you know, a unique sound of my own, and someone would go, oh, that's a Sarah chord progression or whatever. I'd be like, yes, it is. Don't touch it.
Is there anything that you would like to promote for? Because you're doing. We haven't even talked about your solo stuff.
Oh yeah.
What's happening with that? Are you? Because I've sort of seen you sort of on Facebook, and I've seen some of your Congray's Caverns and stuff like that.
Yeah, we just did that. That was really fun. Played in a cave.
Yeah,
which felt wrong.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of slate above you. So that's kind of been, that's like not limping along, but that is like my sidecar at the minute, because I just can't even think straight half the time. But I did a little like double A-side thing in last year, which was like all self-recorded.
I've got it.
Have you?
I've got it at Leo, didn't I?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. So that's all like Sam recorded it, and my sister filmed me like prancing around on the beach and on like a phone, and then I put that in a computer and made a video. Like, that's really self-DIY, self-made. But like the plan is I've got an EP that I'm working on, but obviously I had a baby in June, so it all kind of went on the back burner. But I've started recording it. It's going to be a 4-track EP.
Cool.
And it's like already sounding way better than the last one, and I'm going to get someone to do a video for me, and, you know, do some gigs next year. Like, I've got a long list of people to hit, and then hopefully I'll get half of that or a quarter of that.
Yeah.
And that'd be fun. So that's something that I love doing, and I'll keep alongside it. I love busking as well. I weirdly get like nervous before I busk, like massive social anxiety. Like
it's odd, isn't it? Busking is strange. It's a
super strange
feeling.
Yeah, like there's times I haven't gone where I'm like, I don't want to, so I won't. But I love it when I'm there, and it's nice to getting a couple of coins. You think, oh, it must be good. It must be okay.
Yeah, that's good. What kind of style of music inspires your solo stuff?
I love big voices. Like, not saying I sound like these people, but I love Dean Martin.
Yeah.
And Odetta, and just big, lovely bluesy voices. Howlin' Wolf. Oh my God, just these kinds of people.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way I wish I was black.
Well, I'm in the same boat. I've just been listening to Gregory Porter a lot, and I'm trying to sort of style my voice a bit more, a bit more like that, if possible. So, what's your hope for your side project? Are you hoping to kind of, is that going to get? Are you hoping to do more of that, or is that going to be? Is that going to sort of take a side note to Honey
it's
again?
It's more of a side note, but I want to keep it active, and I definitely want to do. We've already done some cool gigs. We did. What have I done? I've done Leo, as you saw yet.
Yeah.
I've done Little Orchard. I did Porthleven Theatre Music Festival. I've done a few, and I'd love it to be kind of a festival band. Actually, it kind of suits that.
It does really suit that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So that.
Well, I saw you solo. I didn't see your band, but I saw you solo doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be. I can't do anything full on anymore at the moment, anyway. But just that's like a fun thing to get out in the summer.
Yeah.
Get that out, and then it's nice that I can do it solo too, although it is a bit scary.
Yeah.
I like having a band there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, solo is frightening, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is very true. It's one of the things I used to try and do a lot was just when I moved to Plymouth, I did a lot of just trying to do open mics and keep kind of doing that sort of just get good at being on my own, because it's probably like the most frightening thing you'll do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stand there and like have to.
And I think, like you were saying, like if you haven't played guitar and you always have to relearn. I think if you've been playing a lot on your own and then you've built up some nerves and then you take a break, it's like, oh shit, I'm really scared again now.
Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah.
Do you still get the fear when you play? Because I think Kurt Cobain said something like, as soon as you stop getting that, stop playing music.
Yeah, man, that's definitely something in that, isn't there? I don't get horrifically, cripplingly scared every time like in the early days you would, but I'm still some shows I get very before we go on, and especially if I'm on my own, then I'm definitely like, oh my god, why did I agree to this? I just want to go home. I just want to go home. Oh, I'm having a really nice time.
Which is really weird, because when I watched you play, you didn't give that air of fear at all. You looked very much like you were owning that stage, and you were like. And it's funny, isn't it? Because what goes on in your own head versus how other people perceive you is really odd, isn't it? Like how much. I've definitely played gigs where I've just been like, I am shitting my pants.
Oh.
And
then everyone was like, you are Mr. Charisma.
Yeah,
you're amazing.
Yeah. In my mind, I was like, I'm shaking and like I can't talk to anybody. I'm like frightened. I'm a little secret sauce. I am rubbish at talking for Company B. I hate talking.
I'm shit at banter.
Yeah, I hate it.
The worst.
It's like my nightmare. Like if anything happens in the band and I have to basically cover with words, we're in trouble. We're in a world of trouble.
Down.
We're gonna go down. Because I'm just frightened what's going to come out of my mouth. Because I don't really know what I'm going to say. I'm thinking, well, I've got to cover some time. What will come out?
And a lot of your gigs are like, it ranges from children to the elderly, really.
Yeah.
You got to keep it.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Barely.
It's got to be somewhere in the middle, isn't it? There's not a lot we can get away with saying.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that is frightening.
Yeah, I hate the banter.
Yeah, I'm not a big banter fan. I don't like the idea of this topic, but I like the outcome of it. What would be your sort of desert island discs? And I hate to sort of use that phrase, but I can think of like obviously for me it would change a lot. I suspect it'd be the same for you. Like every year or every month, there's a new thing that I go, oh, this is the thing that has been my on my playlist. This for me, this last month or whenever it came out, William the Conqueror's album has been really, really good. I don't know if you've heard him. He's a guy called Rory Joseph, and he's got a band called William the Conqueror, and he's got an album called Proud to Serve Deborah the Peace, and they're like local band and they're awesome.
Cool.
That would be in my desert island discs. What things have been in your little music world recently?
Recently.
Or no, if it doesn't have to be recently, just be of all time. What would be your little?
It's like an epic question.
I know it's a horror. The only reason I don't like to ask it is because no one wants to be sort of pigeonholed into like an album or
Yeah.
I don't know. Like if you could just have like a pick of something that really sort of does it for you.
I'm not really stepping outside of anything I've talked about here, but
No, that's okay.
one of my favourite albums, and I think their best album is Like Clockwork, which is
Yeah, that's a great album.
Yeah.
What's the new album like?
I
Because I know you were getting really excited.
Yeah.
You were getting really. I saw a lot of Facebook love, and you were going to see them, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to see them in November. Yeah, that's for the second time. Yeah. I think it's great. I also think that their two weakest albums followed their two strongest albums. So I think Songs for the Deaf and Like Clockwork are like
we're talking about Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, sorry. What's the word? Carpus magnum? No. What's the word for like your?
Yeah, opus.
Opus magnum.
Yeah.
So I think they have two, and then I think that Lullabies and maybe this album are like weaker, but that's just me, because probably for a lot of people, this new album is going to be their favourite one.
Yeah, Like Clockwork for me was so just powerful and on the money, and it
oh my
god, that album's so good.
It's so good. I didn't get it right away. I was like, this is great. But then I left it in my car for like a month, and I was just like, oh,
it's just so good. Why are you so good? I saw them do it. The thing that turned it for me, and it's often the way, is sometimes they do these little sessions where they play it live on like some KRCW or like or any of these like American things, and they'll do, hey, welcome to KRCW or NPR, and basically I watched them play it live, and that was just like that was it. I was just like, I'm absolutely in. So good. And then I saw them at Glastonbury, and oh my god, amazing.
I should have seen them on that tour. I thought, I can't really afford it, and I didn't. I was like, just do it. Sell a kidney and do it.
Yeah. You never regret going to that's not technically true, but you never regret not going. You never regret going to a gig. You'd always regret not going.
That's right.
And you'll always. That money will just appear and come. It will. It won't matter. It won't matter.
But that era, that tour,
I missed the Dave Grohl tour. That was the one I would have loved to have gone. I think I was sat outside in the field listening to them while my friend was in watching them, and I think I was like, why didn't I buy a ticket?
I on this side of the fence?
Well, I broke into Reading Festival. That's why I'm that side of the fence. I wasn't in the side, and we were trying to like. I probably shouldn't say this on podcast.
Oh yeah, you can edit that out.
Yeah, but basically, I didn't break into Reading Festival. But I heard them, and I remember thinking like, oh, why didn't I do that?
Shit.
There's a few bands like that I've missed tours of that then died. I missed a guy called Gil Scott Heron, who was like one of my all-time heroes, and John Martin, who was one of my all-time heroes.
Oh, yeah.
And they basically, John Martin. Oh my god, I love John Martin. He toured one of his like best albums. He just did that album, and I didn't watch him, and then he died like a year later, and I was just big mistake. Just go and do it. Go and watch them. So yeah, is there anything that you would like to promote for people that don't know about your music? Or
I mean, I've got nothing current.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to buy our last album, Honey's last album, Weekend Millionaire, which is only £6.
That's the greatest £6 you'll ever spend.
And then that'll help us pay for the new album, which will be the greatest £8 you'll ever spend.
That's a great price point.
Yeah. Same for my solo thing. I've got a little, I think it's like £3 online.
Okay.
Bandcamp/Sarah Tyrell or something.
Yeah.
And that'll help me make my new EP.
Beautiful. Yeah. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, man.
Well, I'll include all the links and stuff for
stuff
on your on this video, and thank you very much, Sarah.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you, and hopefully you're welcome. Come back anytime you want to come back and do it.
I could bring the crazies with me.
Bring your mad people with you too. Yeah. Yes, it's less frightening
doing
it.
Mad people.
It's less frightening doing it with other people about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, thanks, Sarah. That's lovely. Thank you. Bye bye.